Hello, yes, that's right. It's Joe here for Joyrider TV. Today, I am talking to Paddy Butler, Hobie 14 World Champion, an all-round Hobie enthusiast who is coming to us from Jervis Bay, which is 2 hours to the south of Sydney, Australia. And we are talking about the Wave GP. Well, good afternoon for you, Paddy. How's things going in Australia right now for you?
Yeah, really good. Well, when I say really good, it's the end of the regular sailing season. So I'm looking out and it's absolutely bucketing down. Yeah, well, it's eased off a bit. It's raining, it's cold, we're coming into winter. So the sailing season, the regular sailing season sort of died down a little bit. We've got a regatta coming up in June. But other than that, down here, down in Down Under, I myself as the president for the Australian Hobie Class Association, and then Bid City Sailing Club, we are hosting the 54 Australian Championships during our summer. So that's really our main big goal going forward towards the end of the year. But alongside the USA Formula Wave class, the Vincenti Sailing Club is also hosting, in conjunction with the New South Wales Hobie Cat Association, our second Hobie Wave Grand Prix Championships, which is super exciting.
Yeah, man. So what makes an event a GP event? Is it taking the same format as like the SailGP, the F50s?
Pretty much. So we at the Vincenti Sailing Club, we've had Hobie Waves for a number of years, and I think when everyone thinks about Hobie Wave, it's very much learn to sail craft, a boat for novices. Which I'm sorry to all the USA viewers who are listening to this, because that was the thought before. After seeing what the USA are doing with Hobie Waves, and the numbers are huge, we were sort of here down under going, yeah, they're a fun boat, and I use them for coaching and instructing novices. And we sort of, our club, because we sort of originated this idea of a Wave GP in the Vincenti Sailing Club, and we're sort of thinking, we've got these boats, and then we've got two more donated from Royal Prince Alfred Yacht Club. We're thinking, what can we do to spice things up a bit? How can we make racing at our club more inclusive? Because we are predominantly a Hobie Cat club, the VSC. But for years, we've done a thing called a wave challenge, which is we've got two Hobie waves. You sail two up in about 25 knot minimum wind strength, and we just race 200 meters out off the beach to the reach, do a crash jibe, and race back another 200 meters back to shore. And then it's a finish on the shore. And we usually do the start with like a running start. So someone sitting on the beach, like a surf lifesaving, if anyone internationally understands that. But someone sitting on the beach, someone in the water, and they run in, jump on the boat, sail out, sail back, and that's the race done. It's usually a 2v2 or 1v1 type thing, sorry. And then we just play with the idea over the last number of years. And there's a great video on Totally Immersed TV where it's a full edit of Hobie Wave Challenge during the 50th Hobie Cat Nationals. So that's an awesome video.
That's the challenge format, not the GP.
That's the challenge format, and that's what we did for a long time. And then we're thinking, what can we do to spice things up a little bit? So we were like, okay, let's try. SailGP is huge. It's such a fun format of take away the F50, right? It's a one design class. F50 is one design class, but they're racing around a racetrack that is short, sharp, and fun. No one thing is it's fun, and it's great for a numerous amount of people in the format that we run it in. So we've got a Grand Prix course, and we adapt the course when we're doing club racing or so we do a winter series and a twilight series at our club, and we just do an alternate course. But for the Wave Grand Prix Championships, we've got exactly like an F50 SailGP race course where we've got 2 gates at the top, 2 gates at the bottom, and a reaching start and a reaching finish. We have a diagram of that, and we can potentially chuck it into the edit. Got the what?
You could just steer me through it here, dude. So wind cut. Hold on, can we see this? Not quite.
Yeah, so we got 2 gates at the top, and we'll have 2 gates at the bottom of the track, and then a nice long reach. And I don't mean like a little short. We'll have a turning mark. We'll have a turning mark in the middle of the course as well.
Oh, what kind of like here?
Yeah, literally that.
And then you
And then it was nice,
reach in from the side.
pretty much.
So would you have a start line kind of like this
Oh.
over here?
Bring it out. What nice long reach, proper long reach.
Okay, so we're not to scale here, I think we could say.
Yeah. Oh, you could even honestly, you could move the top mark and the bottom mark closer to the turning mark, because we generally have a nice long reach, and we start right here on the reach. Yeah, almost like that.
Yeah.
That's a bit more in context. So we'll start with that reach. We'll go downwind, around the gates, back upwind. Sorry, go So
Right.
downwind.
Let's draw this on. So
It's going to be. I should have brought
Would
one
we-
left on my whiteboards at school.
would we go
So
around this first mark to port?
no, it's a starboard. It's a starboard course at the moment, so that's fine. Just leave it at that. So bear away at the turning mark.
Yeah, through the gate as normal.
Through the gate as normal.
So you could go round either buoy
Yeah.
here, upwind. And then is this a gate rather than a spacer? So you go around.
Gate.
Wow.
You can go around either mark. And then so the other thing that we realised, so I'll pause you there, rather than going through the gate and around,
Yeah.
what we run is outside around the top, if that makes sense. So rather than go through the middle,
This one.
around the inside, so they can come around the top. And what we find there is that when you have the two boats meeting on port starboard,
Yeah.
they're meeting on a downwind. They're meeting on the downwind rather than on the upwind. So rather than the two boats,
So we kind of go round here and in.
Yeah.
Like that. Or
so both sides. So it's really, you do one tack and maybe one or two jives, and then it's back around the turning mark and finish on a reach.
so number of laps would be defined by the race committee.
Smart.
Oh, just one
Pretty
lap.
much. So like when we did our Grand Prix championships, we just did a 1 lap race, and that was a 7-minute race time was our target time. So when we ran it with 24 entrants because we only had 8 boats.
Yeah.
So we had a round robin, and so we had 3 round robins back to back to back. So there was no stopping. It was just race after race after race, and we scored same as SailGP cumulative point score. So first gets 10, 8 got 3 points. And we ran 12 races on the first day. So everyone finished their day 1 with 4 races on their scorecard. And then the biggest thing where we tried to differentiate with the F50 GP format is, they go out and do 1 race and that's done and dusted. What we did, we had the top 8. We did like a mini presentation after the fleet racing was done, and our top 8, because we had 8 boats, so the top 8 went into a final series. So first place started on boat 1, second place boat 2, so on and so forth, and we did 4 races back to back. So they'd go, and our start line is 20, 30 meters off the beach. So you could almost start your race from the beach and have just a nice full speed running on the reach, if you wanted, depending on the tide, of course. So what we did 4 races. So say Jackson Beluski and Rob Waterhouse, the grandfather and son, grandson duo, the Jason Waterhouse, flight controller of the Australian GP team, his dad and his nephew sailed together. So they won the fleet racing. So they started on boat 1, did their race boat, and then the second race they came in after the first race, jumped on the boat 2, went back out again, did another race, came in, jumped into boat 3, went back out, boat 4, finished on boat 4. So that way we didn't have to tell anyone their cards either. It was just go to the next number. And if you were started on boat 8, obviously for the next race, you'd come in, you go on boat 1, and so on and so forth. So that's the way we managed to work that out. And mind you, it took us a long time to really perfect this format. So we ran a winter series through the winter of 2025, once a month, where we did this Wave GP format. We started with a single top mark, single bottom mark, and then we went to a double top mark and bottom mark. And, we were testing, when we were testing all the course length, the different breezes, because we were aiming for that 7-minute target time for a race. So we could bang as many out as we possibly could. So it worked out to, we were just playing around with distances. If you have a long reach, then you can, shorten your legs a little bit more, or you want longer legs and you got a shorter reach. But the longer reach worked really well, because when you got 8 to 10 boats, full noise on a reaching start, the longer the reach sort of gives boats to sort of spray out that little bit more. With such short races, we did no, 360 penalty. It was just get behind the boat you infringed. So if there was a get behind or a windward boat not keeping clear, and be on the judging boat, which was only just behind, would yell out, protest boat 3, get behind penalty, something like that. And we just had a third boat waiting on standby, at the rescue boat. And the idea is we made it the format so that the racing was just offshore. There was no, and it makes it so where we are at the Cincinnati Sailing Club, we're directly north facing. So whenever there's a southerly, it's glass off in front of the beach. So it's hard to do racing close to shore. So it was perfect we had onshore breeze, because then for swapping around after each race, all you do is sail to shore, next person jumps on, goes back out. Whereas, we trial we've got a Hobie getaway. We anchored a Hobie getaway at the pin end of the start line. So people could sail, after they finish their race, they'd sail around, sail up to the getaway, or where another support boat, just a little outboard, and you'd swap over on the water. And it worked. It was clunky, but it worked well enough at a club racing level. And we just, luckily for the Green Prix Championships with 24 entrants, we were lucky enough to have onshore breeze to make it all work.
Yeah, sounds flipping epic, man. And there's a few ingredients here that make it almost like a breath of fresh air to a racing format. That it might be one of those things. Like before we started chatting, we were talking about myself and Paddy have both got the mission statement of boosting participation in catamaran sailing generally. And I think this kind of format is really lending itself to this, to boosting the sport, because for a regular round the Cairns race, or even a long distance race, it's for the people on the beach, it's not much of a spectacle. It's, it's difficult to understand. Everything's so far out to sea usually that you need some good binoculars to be able to see it. Whereas this, on the beach, because there'll be all the competitors who aren't in that heat, they'll all be getting charged up. I reckon some guy, someone with a microphone doing a commentary, some pounding beats, some good drinks on the beach, people watching, and then to be able, that's epic point number one, spectators and people will see it and they say, how do I have a go at that? And that's it. That's almost job done. If you get 5 people say, how do I have a go at that from one event, then that is amazing. Second amazing thing that I can foresee from this is when, apart from in a long distance race, do you get to sail against other boats these days on a long reach? It just doesn't happen. And that's where the fun is, isn't it? Just absolutely sending it, seeing how fast you can get the boat to go. And then the penalty of just get behind the boat you infringed, that's such a good idea, because it means that you're not suddenly in last place. What would be the penalty if you hit a mark?
Get behind penalty, same thing.
Yeah, so whichever boat is behind you, you just yeah.
Get behind. Yeah. It was the same thing with a late start. If you were over at the start line early, it's just get behind the fleet. And if there's a straggler way off, that's fine. Don't lead out them. It's just get behind the boats on the start line. When we sort of did the first Grand Prix championships, we wanted to we targeted through the association like our women and youth and novice participants. So the sailors, that hadn't really done regattas all that much, or those that are, new to the sailing. And that's the beauty about the Hobie Wave, is it's such a simple boat to sail that anyone can basically, if you know the basics, anyone can be competitive on it. And if you can sail the boat in one direction real fast, then you're gonna have a good start. And that's the beauty of this format of racing. And that was our biggest draw card, was, you know, creating an inclusive racing format for everyone. And the beauty is, well, if you can pull the mainsail tight and go upwind, everyone's going at the same pace in a reasonable amount of breeze. Once the breeze is on, the more weight hanging off the side, the better. Or in the light air, the lighter you are, the better off you're going to be. So we ran our championships under the IHCA class rules for the Hobie Waves. So we had all our boats were slightly varied. We tried to get them all, exactly the same as we could. But our biggest thing was we went out through the association. We went out and sought out sponsorship to buy 8 brand new Hobie Wave mainsails from the Hobie Cat company. So it was a class level, all parts provided by Hobie Cat company. So we had 7 local businesses actually sponsor mainsails for the event. And then we also had Steve Fields donated 2 sails himself from over in the USA. So that was amazing, and couldn't thank Steve enough for that. So we were lucky enough to have 8, brand new mainsails that we put on all the boats. So following the idea of, one design racing, we couldn't get all the exact same boats made from the same age, but same as the European Championship had been done in the past, like a few years ago. Everyone in Gold Fleet would get the same sails, and there was that element of, everyone was on a level playing field. And it worked really well. The sails look beautiful, and I'll tell you what, the photos we had from that event with 8 boats, same mainsails, most of them with stickers on them from sponsors, it looked super cool.
Yeah, great opportunity for sponsors as well, because it's not like you're sponsoring a boat which might happen to be the boat that comes last. The boat that you're sponsoring is going to be in every position in the fleet at some point. So you get your logo on the sail, really close to the beach. If it's a busy area, what a amazing opportunity for a floating billboard, and then it would stay on that boat for the rest of the season or something. Yeah.
Well, that's it. Like, the sponsors are on these sails forever. So they put in the money, and they go on the regular club racing sails as well. I mean, yeah, I think the biggest part of it is just creating a very inclusive racing format, which is what we were going for. And I think put in a lot of hard yards going into the first championship event last September, and it paid off, because I wrote the notice of race and sailing instructions for this year's event in early September, and it was literally changed the dates because the format was perfect. And what we're trying to do for the second Grand Prix championships, we're gonna put an EOI out there first for everyone to complete. Then everyone that would like to potentially attend, because obviously there's a limited number of spots. So we're going to provide early entry for those so we're going to, a 2-week window for everyone who competed last year to get their priority entry in. If people don't get their priority entry, because then we'll open it up to everybody else and go from there. But they're going to put the EOI out there first and foremost, because if we get more than 24 people looking to go and enter, then we're going to have to, randomly draw names out of a pool, where we prioritise youth and women and novices last year. This year we're just, opening it up. Those who get in their entries first, I put their AOIs in first, and happy days.
Wicked, man. So what have you got the dates in for your event? It's in September, is it?
Yeah, 12th and 30th of September, and then
What's the venue?
USA Vicinity Sailing Club.
Okay, and that is the one close to you where you are?
Yeah, that's in Jervis Bay,
Jervis
where I'm
Bay.
from, so it's my home club, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So if you're in the area at that time, I'd strongly recommend getting down to Jervis Bay to check out the action. And then the event in the USA is near to Pensacola, Florida. I believe is it the 17th and 18th of September? It's the Friday, Saturday.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, and that is going to be absolutely amazing. I'm going to be there, and I believe one of your colleagues is going to be there as well, Paddy.
Yeah, my super crew, Bridget Raftery, who's also from my club, she's over in the US, so locked in her spot as the sole representative from down under. So she's had a fair bit of time racing with the waves, not to put any pressure on her, but yeah, I'm sure Bridget's gonna absolutely love it.
Paddy, thank you so much for taking the time to explain this to us. Really, congratulations on all the good work that you're doing in Australia. Just charging to keep the sport going and to grow the sport. It is definitely the intention of so many people to get the sport back to where it was. Like if we could get it back to where it was in the in the mid 80s, wouldn't that be
Age,
wouldn't that
the
be
heyday.
a great thing?
For any of those that are still interested and keen to check out Wave GP before the US event or our next Australian event, there's tons of footage on Totally Immersed TV. We've got multiple races, like full races from start to finish. GoPro footages from not only club racing but the Grand Prix itself. Just of GoPro on the bow and following the sailors start sequence to the finish of the race, end of the race, and the videos are like 10 to 15 minutes long, not even. And then we've got all our post racing and onshore footage from the actual Grand Prix from last September. So there's so much Wave GP footage on Totally Immersed TV for people to check out and get a bit of an understanding of what the racing is like and really how short, sharp, and high intensity it is.
Yeah, cool, man. So, thanks very much for watching. Check out Totally Immersed TV. Subscribe to Totally Immersed TV. They're doing a great job. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon with some more on Joyrider TV. Nice one, Paddy.
See you, legends.